970, you're on the Radical Agenda. What's your agenda?
I just really find it funny that, not only are you just speaking about white nationalism, but I think it's kind of interesting that you are not even putting out yourself. You're just a hypocrite. I think it's just fantastic. Isn't it so great?
Excuse me, I'm a hypocrite how? Could you be more specific?
Okay, so you're fucking a spick alien.
I'm actually not presently. I mean, you don't know fucking anything about me, apparently. But, okay, so I had sex with a woman who is, some portion of her was Puerto Rican. Yes, this happened. It doesn't mean that I fucking don't go anywhere near anybody with a contamination in their fucking DNA, stupid.
Really?
Yeah, that's not what white nationalism is, right?
You just have to want to go ahead and ban everybody just because of it. Just because people want to criticize you. Shit, dude.
Okay, all right. You're not fucking helpful at all. You're a douchebag. 747-234-2254, Radical Agenda on Skype. You want to fucking call in here? Here. When are you going to fucking... I do fucking ban people all the fucking time. You're out of here too, fucking asshole. 747-234-2254, Radical Agenda on Skype. You like to be on the program. I fucking ban people because they fucking are useless to talk to, right? Like, honestly, I fucking have comment sections so that people can have a worthwhile discussion, okay? And if you're an asshole who says things like that, you're a hypocrite because you fucking spick alien, right? I'm like, no, I've said before, and it's not even like white nationalism is my fucking ultimate goal, honestly. Like, I'm a white nationalist in the same sense that I'm an anarcho-capitalist. This will solve a lot of fucking problems, And stupid fucking assholes like this who don't even bother to understand what it is that you're saying, and you're like, oh my God, I think that I've got a clever thing because you know somebody who's not a fucking pure Aryan. No, you're a retard. You're a dumb fuck. You're probably not a dumb fuck. You're probably smart as fuck. You're a lying piece of shit is what you are. So fucking irritating, man. Get your fucking crap together. If you fucking talk like that, no wonder I'm fucking banning you from my fucking platforms because you're a loser. You're trying to fucking discuss things here that are kind of like of some import. And when everything that they say, everything that fucking comes out of your dumbass mouth is, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know what? I'm not going to fucking talk to you very long, right? Oh, you're a hypocrite because you did something that they're claiming to be completely uninformed about the ideology, right? I'm talking about a fucking, a political policy, a public policy initiative that would say, hey, this fucking geographic territory is for these kinds of folks over here, right? That's what that is. It's a fucking policy decision. It doesn't mean that I fucking, it's pointless to fucking explain this to people. But it doesn't mean I fucking hate everybody who's not fucking pure as the driven snow. Fucking stupid assholes. Hadding, you are on the Radical Agenda. What's your agenda?
I heard this guy calling in, giving you grief about your Puerto Rican girlfriend, or part Puerto Rican girlfriend.
Yeah.
I got a look at her picture a couple of weeks ago. She looks fine to me. She just looks Mediterranean. She's not even really dark.
No, she's not. I'll tell you actually a funny story about that. When I first started, I've known her for years. We had a brief affair back like a few years ago. We started hanging out again. And, I get on the phone with her. And the thing is that, when I had seen her prior, I was not a fucking frothing at the mouth racist, right? So, I got on the phone with her, and I'm talking to her about, immigration and stuff like that. And I'm like, these fucking subhuman animals, if we don't do something, there's not going to be any white people around. You're going to get gang raped by a subhuman filth. And she fucking was like, I could be a real dick right now. And that was how I found out that she was part Puerto Rican. I was saying a bunch of fucking racist shit to her about immigration. And she was like, oh, wait a second, it's a little uncomfortable. But, she's obviously she's a wonderful woman. It's not obvious to anybody. I know that some of the things that got said as I was splitting up with her gave people a fucking second to think about it. But she's really a very wonderful woman.
Yeah, well, the thing to watch out for with Hispanic women is what are their racial attitudes. Puerto Rican, of course, is not a race. If you look at, well, I don't know. I read this old Encyclopedia Britannica article from about 1960 that said about half the population of Puerto Rico was simply of Spanish ancestry, and the other half was mulatto. Right, so there are apparently a lot of white people in Puerto Rico. Not necessarily to say that your ex-girlfriend is pure white, but she looks passable to me. But a really important consideration is the attitude, right? Sometimes sometimes you'll find, say a woman of pure Scandinavian ancestry who has completely ass-backward attitudes on race.
Yeah.
And I dare say that the future of the progeny of a woman like that is less bright than, say, this Puerto Rican woman, if her views on race are correct.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that, like, because somebody came from Puerto Rico, I mean, probably, a good portion of DNA is probably European, European origin to begin with, a lot of them. And then, of course, you have a child with a fucking white person, and, there's a little bit less of that, right? You could tell, like, she had a fucking thing, like, we gotta get her hair done, and we gotta go to a different place, right? The hair is not exactly the same. She wanna go get the thing straightened out. We had to go, like, oh, you don't know how to do, all you do is white girl hair in New Hampshire. We had to go find somebody. But other than that, I mean, she fucking looks like, and the thing is that she does not, I'm not gonna put fucking words in her mouth, but like, I don't suspect that, she would want to live in a world without white people either, and I spent months with her, and she's watched not every episode, but a lot of this program, and she fucking, thinks that I'm very, interesting and entertaining. So, it's not like she's like, oh, well, you're a racist, fuck off. She's great,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know people in Mexico who are real big enthusiasts for Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I was just, the guys who put down, that debate that I had with Adam Kokesh down in Miami, that was put on by a bunch of guys who were Hispanic, largely, right? And some of them, I think, were...
Well, yeah, but libertarianism is not racial, though. I mean, you had that one Beaner guy call in who was upset because you had the National Socialist caller.
I get it, but I'm talking about these particular guys. Like, they even joked, like, I put out a thing, like, about, I said something about, I was talking about Adam Kokesh, and I said, I take him to be a very calculating man, as his people of his ethnicity tend to be, and one of the organizers of it, who's a Hispanic guy, he fucking got a real kick out of it. So, like, he could, some of them consider themselves race realists, and they're kind of like, am I close enough to white to get into your ethno state or whatever? And I'm like, well, that's basically what the Democratic Party is trying to turn you into. But, it could be a fucking touchy subject, but at the same time, the entire point of this thing is not, everybody tries to boil it down to, anything to do with race and you're white. It's a fucking hate group. It's a fucking, you want to go curb stomp everybody. And it's like, this is just not what it is. It's just, I'm trying to fucking, organize the world in a way that I think will be, reduce the amount of conflict that we have in society. And doing that along ethnic lines, I think has the capacity to do it. It doesn't mean that I don't want anything to fucking do with anybody fucking darker than me. It's the craziest idea in the world.
Yeah, I think if you really want to be effective and have a possibility to create a better situation for survival of the white race, sometimes it's counterproductive to push principles too far. Even in National Socialist Germany, they had to compromise. They allowed quarter Jews and half Jews and interracial Jewish and white couples that had married before.
Oh, Hitler was such a cuck.
Well, they let those people stay. All right, they didn't tell them that they had to draw the line draw the lines in such a way that it was acceptable for people, right? And if you push principles too far, too fast, it becomes counterproductive.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying to the caller earlier. Now, he was a black guy, and I think he might have a little trouble getting into the ethno state. But imagine, there's going to be some fucking exceptions to the rule, if for no other reason, bribery. But I mean, everybody's got a friend, right? Everybody's got a friend who's like, oh, well, he looks very. I had a conversation with a guy not so long ago. He's a friend that I've had for years, a guy from New York, involved in libertarian circles. And he's a fucking right-wing libertarian, like a Hoppe guy, And, he's talking, and he turned out he was half Jewish. I didn't even know this, right? And he's not putting the fucking yarmulke on and fucking growing his beard out or anything like that. But, he's ethnically, Ashkenazi, right? And so, I had a conversation with him about it. I'm like, well, strictly speaking, I don't think that this is going to be the policy. But again, I think that fucking governments are imperfect.